Welcome back, you beer-barians. This week, we're talking iRocker. Welcome back to Gear and Beer. Here another week with you guys because we're doing freaking awesome. I'm joined in the studio with a guest host / basically permanent host, Todd Hunt. Ooh. And the best looking man in my friends group, John Suh. How you boys doing?
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here, guys.
Yeah, good to be here.
Hey, so today we're talking paddle boards and we're going to review the company iRocker because that's what I bought. I looked into some paddle boards. I went in, I felt Body Glove, I felt some other companies, went into Costco, checked out the fiberglass paddleboard, swung by a Sam's Club, checked out their inflatable, weighed the options. Do I want to go inflatable or do I want to go fiberglass or a solid paddleboard? Landed on the inflatable, and this was around the 4th of July this year when I just decided, hey, I'm done just kind of wasting my weekends at home. I want to be on the water. Went on iRocker, researched the company and researched a bunch of websites to learn like what they would rank the top 10 paddleboards. And an iRocker was in there somewhere. If it wasn't in the top 5, it was like 5 or 6. So I was like, this seems like a pretty good company. Went to the website, they were having a sale, and the boards I landed on were 50% off. So paddleboards I know are expensive. These were $850 a piece. The company was offering them for 50% off. So what did I do? Bought 2 of them. Just wanted to get my kids out there with me and my wife. So my wife takes 2 of them on hers. I throw like our lunches and stuff on mine, and I take the 3rd kid. And we go out on the lake, we go out on a slow-moving river, and we just paddleboard all day. John, you and I went out and actually tested these.
Yeah.
And I could speak all day about how much I actually enjoyed just paddleboarding, but I could speak a lot about how much I just like the quality of this company's product. But I want to hear from you. What do you think?
Paddleboard's been really popular in the last like 5 years or so.
Yeah, definitely blowing up.
Yeah, when I visited Austin, there's a Lady Bird Lake last year, and there was a bunch of people on stand-up paddleboards. I can see why. It's light, it's inflatable, it's easy to store. It's a great exercise for your legs and your glutes and your core. It kind of sneaks up on you on those workouts. The reason why I like iRocker is that kind of the same reasons, but it's durable. When I'm standing on it on the water, I feel comfortable. I feel secure that I can move both ways with my paddle. If I want to go for speed, I can go for speed. Or if I want to just sit down, and I usually have maybe one of my kids sitting on the board, so they kind of like play and they kick their legs out. I go, oh, you're throwing me off, but just for all around purposes.
Dude, I love them, and even though it's inflatable, I felt like I was standing on something super solid.
Right,
the quality was there.
I was like, my wife got it first, and then I was like, you got an inflatable? Like, is this gonna deflate on me in the water? But man, that when you pump it up to 15 psi, that's solid as rock.
Yeah. So Todd, I know you didn't get a ride with us, but I had you just check it out, get a feel for like what the quality felt like in your hands and everything. What did you think?
Sure. Yeah. So my wife and I, we paddleboard. We have 2 at home, and we've used a lot of different products, right? So we've used different brands. We've done different things. And so I do have a feel for, the sport and the activity and the product. So just first glance at it, it definitely reminds me of one I've been on that stability's there. I need that. I'm 6'1", roughly. And so just being tall and trying to stabilize on the water, I need something a little bit, I need the larger boards. Mm-hmm. But just because it's a larger board doesn't mean that, it's necessarily going to feel the same.
Right.
So I would definitely, at first look at that, I'd say from a stability standpoint, quality standpoint, just touching the texture of like, where your footing is. It feels grippy. It looks like a board that would perform.
Awesome.
And for me, yeah. something I noticed about it is that the handles, there's handles actually like front, back, all around there. And I'm like, if you're going to carry it with a buddy, like for me, I'm going to carry the big one. You know, and the nice thing is like I pick this thing up, I can carry it by myself. It's not even heavy.
I think it's like 30 pounds.
Yeah, it's light.
And that's distributed across, it's 11 feet long by 32 inches like wide.
Yeah. But say you're going to carry it, you know, 1,000 yards, or you're going from the truck all the way down to the lake or something, and you're like, you're with, you know, got a couple people to help out. There are all kinds of carrying options built into the board once it's blown up, which I like. So that gives you options, right? You don't have to man it yourself.
Right.
What if your wife's doing it, or you have young kids and
they're
almost strong enough, but they're going to do it together, you know, that kind of thing.
Kids always want to help.
Yeah.
So having that extra handle, my kids always want to help carry it to the water. Other great thing, I sit on them, and my kids just want to jump off and get back on and jump off again. Those handles, and everywhere I'm like, hey, climb on the back, climb on the front. They have easy ways to get out of the water and back onto the board. Standing up, they battle on them, and they do everything on it, dude. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, before we dive too much farther into this, because I got a whole bunch of stuff I want to say about this company, because since I chose to go with them and the things we've been through, I have a lot of positive things to say, and I would definitely push people towards iRocker. But before we dive into more of that, why don't we crack some cold ones? Hey guys, while we're cracking cold ones, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like and subscribe button, it really helps us on the channel and the show. Keep bringing you awesome products, bringing you awesome beers. Just like this one, join the club with us, hit the button, and continue to get great reviews on quality gear and delicious beer. Cheers, boys.
Cheers, man.
Cheers, guys.
Whew. I have never had this, never even heard of this, dude. Taco Truck Lager, Dust Bowl Brewing Company.
Turlock, California.
Do the salt.
Do the salt, huh?
Oh, so
All
what
right,
do we
so
do with this?
we got some beer salt. I've never used beer salt. Have you guys?
No.
Technically, no. I've salted, but not beer
I've salted, yeah. I've salted
like,
with, like you said earlier, maybe if the bartender, when I ordered a Corona, salted it. I've had it on a Corona. Besides that,
I've margarita salted a beer,
okay.
Tequila shot?
but
Salted.
never-
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
yeah.
So we're here to try.
Fast pour, John. Careful.
So what are we doing, Justin? Just putting it at what around?
Yeah, shake it around the rim so you get a little bit of salt in there for some flavor. And
All right. So these are all surprise beers. We have no idea what we're getting. Justin, dude, he's behind the scenes. He does a whole bunch for the show. We love him. We thank him. He goes out. He buys us beers. And when we buy them, we give honest reviews about everything. So he surprises us. It may be something we've had before, something we haven't had. But if there's something out there that you guys want us to taste because it's your favorite, it's something at home that you love, write us in the comment section. Send us something so we can work our best to find it and we can get a review, because those type of local breweries, we want to get out there.
Yeah. That's good.
This is really good.
Oh,
That
fast
actually
forward.
changes. It kind of changes life, yeah, right there. Yeah, it's like it gave it a whole different dimension.
Yeah.
It's
Whoa,
super,
that's like drinking a different beer.
it's super limey,
yeah.
but in a good way. Like not like when you have like a really really good tortilla chip that has like lime salt on it.
Yes.
It's like that, but almost better.
okay, so
Yeah.
you guys have had 2 sips off of this, and I do not want to do a disservice to Dust Bowl as the brewery. So you had 1 sip without the beer salt and 1 sip with the beer salt. Break it down.
Not bad. First sip, straight just can open. Not bad. Don't say there's anything special about it that I would really differentiate it from a beer that I really like. I may try it because it's something new, maybe at a bar I'm at, or if I go by the brewery. But next beer, probably ordering something else. With the salt, totally different beer. Like, I'm going to have to pocket this salt when I go in, and if I order this, like, I'm adding it to it. 100%.
Yeah, so I actually really like this beer. It's really light, but flavorful. Not buttery, but for a lager, it's there. Like, it's really, really good. And I I can see why maybe this beer is segmented right now, because I actually would have this at the water. This is something I would take out. It really would. This is like in the sun by the pool doing paddle boarding. This is light enough and clean enough and flavorful enough that I would run that. Actually, I actually really like it. And then when you add that, you're just getting a little more lime. You're getting a little more flavor for me anyway. That's my profile. Yeah, my flavor profile.
No, I like it.
Yeah.
At first I was like, I think we should just shoot this, like, just shotgun it. You know, it's light, and I just read it right. It's 4.7%. It's for me, I would just down it. I'm more of a quality versus quantity guy, so I like a higher percentage beers, like 9%. 4.7 is a little light for me, but hey, on a summer day after, on a paddleboard or mowing the lawn or something or sitting by the pool, this is perfect. And that's with the lime and salt. I mean, I think, well, I think I'm just reviewing the beer. I like it. It's light. I like it.
Yeah, it's a great light beer, but I think it stands out with the salt. Like if I had it again, I definitely want the salt.
Yeah, more flavor. Yeah, it just adds more flavor.
Yeah.
Cool. Kind of going back to our iRocker. Brian, you had an interesting story with the iRocker. Why don't you tell us what happened there?
Yeah. So, when I was on the hunt looking for a paddleboard, I wanted to do something with my family. Specifically, I really wanted to spend more time with my wife outside of work. I have a job that's demanding. I'm in the office. I'm in the field a lot. So I wanted to take advantage of my time and have quality time with my wife. So I went with iRocker. They were having a crazy good deal. And when you use an inflatable paddleboard, I didn't want to have to pump it up all the time. So the ones we bought came with a hand pump, which, I think seeing other people use inflatable paddleboards, the hand pump you get with iRocker is much better. It's got 3 settings on it, so you can really get the board inflated and then work on getting it up to the correct PSI. And the pump won't let you ever overinflate the board. So you don't have to worry about it potentially exploding, and it's got the PSI gauge right there so you can see how well you're doing. And they offered a warranty for any seal. Any seal issue, they give you a warranty. So we wanted to pump them up. I have a truck. I just wanted to throw them in the back of the truck when we wanted to go, store them in a shed the days we weren't using them. And we filled up the first day we used it. We wanted to go out the second day and use it, and my wife's was halfway inflated. So I knew there was a leak, and I could tell it was really light because it was still, half of it was still there. From 15 PSI, it went down to 7 or 8. Reinflated, okay, I don't know, maybe it was something we did, so we tested it again. And after the third time of it deflated all the way. We inflated again, and I was like, hey, I'll just write an email to iRocker support and see what's kind of going on. And we're out on the water, and my wife's sitting there, we're taking a break, and I could see bubbles coming out. So I videoed it, so I knew the location. We went home, we put soap on the board and videoed it, and right on the seal, it's bubbling on both sides. iRocker has a 100% warranty for their seals, so I wrote them and said, hey, here's a video of the board leaking. Is there any help you can have for us? And they emailed me back a week later and said, we guarantee 100% warranty on the seals, so we'll send you out a new board and we'll replace it. Crazy thing is, their sale went so well that they ran out of the paddle boards that we bought, and they sent my wife one that I think was 2 steps up. It typically is on the site for $1,000.
Okay.
And it was on sale when they were going to send it to us for $6.99. They were doing another sale. And we just got it. It's actually this color in this bag right here. And they let her pick her own color. I communicated them back and forth. The moment they sent me the email and I responded, it was like text message, dude. They were all on top of it. Said what I needed to get back to them. They were going to ship out the board before I even sent my other one back. They got me the shipping label. They paid for everything to send our old one back. We got the new one. We inflated it. But not only did they upgrade the board, I mean, dude, she got a much better bag to carry it in if you deflate it, which I have a lot to say about why I like inflatables when you deflate it. They sent inside of her bag, dude, this little mini bag. And bro, this is what John was asking for when we were out there, because he was like,
I think he said it was cute.
He's like, I'm going to get gassed out here pumping this thing up. And it's like iRocker heard what we were saying. They not only sent my wife like a repair kit, nicer fins and everything with her board, they sent her an electric pump. Dude, this thing just like plugs into your car.
Dang.
And I'm not gonna lie, in about 5 minutes or less, that board's pumped up and we're like sunscreening the kids. We're getting their life jackets on. Board's pumped, next one's hooked up, and we're ready to go. Right from, dude, your cigarette lighter.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. I mean, when we were out there, I told John, I'm gonna pump this board up 10 minutes or less. And I went all out on this thing. Just went hard, dude. And I think I got like 12 minutes. But that's faster than most people. Like, I've gone out and paddleboarded for like a couple hours with my wife and returned, and the same people who bought a less quality board were still trying to pump theirs up with a hand pump. And we're already out on the water. So customer service, dude, is like, for iRocker, 10 out of 10. And the fact that they even said, we're out of the board that you like or purchased, we're gonna upgrade you. No extra cost.
Yep.
Huge, dude. That's huge for me.
Yeah. So when I look at products, like I think a lot of people, something gets your attention initially.
Yeah.
Is how it looks. You know, it matters. It matters. You know, there's an appeal to something, and I'll be honest, I don't love the design and the colors on that board.
Of the one I have?
Of the one that that you guys used.
It's the one I was writing out there. It's like a grayish color, a little more gray, a little white, like
it's a little bit
an off-color
It's
gray.
like mute.
Yes.
In overall. I've just seen some that have a little more, you know, pep in their step, so to speak. And like, I just, the appeal is something that, you know, quality is going to come first for me, obviously, but there is an appeal, and I want to buy something I like looking at.
Yeah.
Because I want to be on it. It's just, I don't know, there's just something about it. It's a satisfying thing, you know, so that's probably my only complaint about it.
What did you think about, John, you were on the one that ended up we returned.
Right.
But what did you like? That color was not as mute, I'd say, but it's white. The green was a little bit brighter green, but still it wasn't very colorful.
You know, I hope I wasn't the reason why there was a
Yeah, you definitely were.
there was a hole in the board, but no, I thought that was fun. You know, I'm still kind of a newbie at SUP game. SUP. But yeah, it took a second to get up on my feet, but it was fun. I had a great time. I felt supported and stable up there. Granted, I wasn't looking left and right. I was just kind of looking straight.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to fall. And I know you took a dive. Did we get that on tape?
We did.
I think it was on purpose, though.
Okay, there you go.
No, it wasn't.
But yeah, no, I had a great time. You know, it's kind of learning how to shift and then kind of turn. Yeah, I thought I had a great time.
Would you have bought one of those if you're looking just at color? Like, just color alone, like...
Color alone, like Todd said, it's a little mute, little quiet. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm more of I'm bright.
You're loud.
I'm a little loud guy. You know, I like a little bit of, and something to do with. Let's say if it does sink, if I add on like a ice cooler on my board, if I add on like a bag that's that can go in the water and then like you kind of have to look for it, you do want those colors to pop.
Yes.
So a white in like a 10-foot water, you can't really find that.
Okay,
Maybe
you got me on there. All right, I'm hearing you, right? So, so the cool thing is,
But
you get a ton of color selection when you pick.
But I was gonna say, I also understand that might just be one of 10. Like before you said that, I was gonna say, the companies are gonna try to appeal to everybody.
Exactly.
You know, and I guess that, you know, just because this one was, you know, but that's just like I'm saying, like.
And I don't hate
Designs,
the color
colors,
of my board
yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
I will say I knew I was jumping in during a sale, and the colors I wanted were bought out. So then I was like, hey, this is the price point I want.
Yep.
So what colors are available? And I
Right.
picked two that worked. And then if you go, you know, the colors change for, you know, each board you want to look at, and that can either be more expensive or less expensive. I also wanted I'm 6'2", and I wanted an 11-foot paddleboard. I wanted a good size where I felt really balanced and comfortable on it. I knew if I matched that for my wife, she's like 5'8", it'd work for her too. So I wanted to make sure they were 11 feet long. If I went with a 10-foot one, I had different color options. If I went higher in quality, I had different color options, which is why she was able. And she likes the loud colors too, which is why she went with green being one of her favorite colors. A board with green. But iRocker, they got so many, and those really nice colors, they go fast, especially when they do sales, which unbeknownst to me is more often than I thought, because I thought the 4th of July sale was the special deal. When we had this issue, I literally did this during this last week, and they were having another sale.
Yeah.
So the cool thing too, like the reason why I bought mine, I just got my wife, so I don't know if hers can do this, but the reason why I also went with my board is I can purchase a seat made by iRocker that locks in, and it turns my paddleboard into a canoe or a kayak. But I just sit on top of it. I have a backrest now. I can buy a bag that hooks to the front, and then I can, with the seat comes an extra paddle like we have here for the other side, and I just literally take my handle in half, which can adjust super small to super tall and floats. I can take that off, stick on another paddle, and I can use it like I would a canoe or a kayak.
Yep.
Which is like another huge selling point to why I went with them. Besides the fact that if we take my wife's car, we can deflate them, throw them in our bags, bring everything with us and the kids in her car, take everybody out, pump them up, and go to the water, or we throw them in the bed of my truck, and then we take them inflated all the way down.
Right.
So multiple options. You can fit them in the back of a truck or back of a car, uninflated, which a lot of people do because not very many people have trucks, especially like if you're going out into like the ocean, you live in the city, you need a small car because you want to park. Easier because I've taken my truck down to some beach cities and I can't fit anywhere. So small cars, compact, you can deflate them, throw them in the back, and still enjoy paddleboarding. No roof racks needed. You just take it out of the back, spend a couple minutes, pumping it up. And I told John while we were out there, like, it's kind of a workout when you do it, but it's a fun workout, and it's a workout where if you get hot and sweaty, you just fall into the water and cool off and get back on. So pumping it up's like part of the workout.
Yeah, if you're a guy, you want to look good on the. If you want to look good on the lake,
Yeah.
do some pumping. You get those arms up going.
You just swell up a little bit.
You're ready to go.
Not a problem for you, dude. Not a problem for you.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like, I didn't get this board for the price that they're advertising online. They graciously upgraded us, but looking at paddle boards, I was seeing everything from a couple $100 on Amazon to well over $1,000. I was totally cool spending $425 on 2 paddle boards. Even if that other one didn't leak and I had my 2 originals, I would be totally happy, and I would, at that price point, totally give that an average dad approval.
Yeah.
So, John, what do you think? You wrote it. What do you think? Is that something you would buy for you, your wife, and your kids?
Shortly after our session, my wife and I decided to invest some for ourselves. I have a 9-year-old who wants to ride herself, and I have a 6 and a 5-year-old who's gonna just sit on our boards. Picking up 3 boards was a little bit tight on the budget.
Yeah.
If you're getting 2, maybe you could squeeze by a little bit more. I decided to bypass iRocker. I went with something a little cheaper. I think my budget was like $200-ish. But it didn't have a lot of bells and whistles like yours did. It didn't have attachment to the canoe seat, whatnot. It didn't have like the handles. Like almost every I think there was like
It's like every 2 feet.
yeah, there was like
there's a-
6 there's 6
like a
handles.
There's a
Yeah,
hold point for carrying or laying on it or whatever you're doing. Yeah.
right. So it doesn't have that, but I have something a little bit more economical. Do it for us. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Maybe it'll keep us up, or maybe it'll cause, if there's a hole in it, then maybe we decide to go with iRocker or maybe something more expensive. Just make sure it's always usable. Yeah. So I would say if you're getting like 3 or more, I would kind of pass on iRocker. Is this average dad approval? Depending on, I would say about middle.
Okay.
Just depending on how many you're getting, what your budget looks like, what your family situation looking like, because it's not only this. Not only you buy a SUP board, you kind of buy other things like waterproof, like a bag for your phone, your keys. You kind of have to go get a little bit of a ice chest, a cooler that's going to go on your board.
Yeah.
So that goes on top of the board costs. So you kind of have to think about that. Like, do you want to get a cool hat like Brian with the sunshade? You know, do you want to wear? I have a Salty Crew shirt that's like long sleeve with the hoodie on, so I don't have to put on sunscreen. I am a little sweating out there. It's a quick drying, so I dip in the water, come back on. I'm fine. So you kind of have to think about those things in your budget. So it's not, you're just not only buying board, but there are other accessories that go with it. Just like if you're riding a bike, you need a helmet, you need a cool shirt, or not a shirt, like a biker shirt, you know, bike shorts, shoes, all those things you have to think about. You're not just riding a bike. So
I'd agree, because you have to think about life jackets.
Yep.
And life jackets are like sometimes $100 even for kids.
Yeah.
Like we went with like an older school model versus like an O'Brien just for our kids, because we knew they'd grow out of them. They're still like $30 or $40 a pop.
Right.
And I mean, I'll piggyback on what you said. If I was going to buy one for my daughter to use, because she's 7 turning 8, I would go with a lower priced one.
Right.
That I could buy off Amazon, because I know she's going to grow out of it. Even though iRocker makes one for kids, I don't want to spend that money until I know, does she like it enough when she does it by herself to do it, and can she do it?
Yeah.
But when she gets older and she's like a teenager, yeah, sure, I'll get you one. What do you have different ones, and you felt ours. You get to ride the one that my wife and I have, but just from feeling and seeing what you have versus that, what do you think?
Yeah, I definitely I believe the product is good. I can tell it's a quality made product.
You get what you pay for,
and it probably does function well. You know, and like you guys said, it did. I think that the market it's just highly competitive. I think that it's probably paddleboards are all they're close. They're close. It's tough to say if I would actually go and pick this one out and buy it.
Yeah.
I like to read reviews. You know, this wouldn't be something outside my, interest. I think I just need to do more personal research on a product like that. You know, but initially, absolutely. I mean, I think it's probably there. iRocker's definitely on my radar now.
Okay.
So that's one thing I will say is that you don't always know who you're working with until you work with them.
Yeah.
Right?
And they had no idea we were making this episode either.
No. But to know that they stand behind what they're doing, that means more to me than buying something that I'm going to use,
And they're based out of the U.S. They're out in, I believe they're out of Knoxville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
So, what about, John, have you used a solid versus an inflatable or just inflatable?
Overall, I think inflatable is way to go. I mean, I have a small house, so there's limited space for that. Like, and 11 feet by 32 inches, that's not a small thing
I have
to
store
store.
mine outside, like just under cover, so it doesn't get destroyed by the sun. But I've never ridden on a fiberglass board. I've only done the inflatables. Yeah. I do like the ability to transport easier. Even though I have a truck, I do like the fact that I can deflate it if I'm bringing things. Like my son wanted to go mountain biking and then straight into paddleboarding, so I deflated them. We threw our bikes in the back, went bike riding, then went paddleboarding right after. That was awesome to do. Mm-hmm. The only difference I really see is a paddleboard, you sit higher on the water than a fiberglass, you sit a little bit lower because you're like feels like you're in the water. I don't know if that has anything to do with the change of stability or whatnot. I'd imagine so, but once again, I've never done it. Mm-hmm. But I would definitely say I'm all for the inflatables. I think they're easier to transport. If I was to buy another one, I'd probably just stick with an inflatable instead of going with the solid.
Yeah.
So,
sweet.
What about this beer? Huh? What are we giving this beer? So we're kind of like
it's settling.
We're kind of on both different sides of the average dad approval. I don't know if we can fully give it the average dad approval, just because maybe I went above the price point, but I'd say split on that. But what about this beer?
I have had this beer before.
Yeah. So you're biased. So
I didn't go in. No. Well, here's the thing. I was at a barbecue, and it was in the ice chest, and I go, well, what's this? I'll try it out, and I had it. I liked it then. I like it now.
Perfect.
So yeah, I'm not biased to anything, but I like it.
What about you, John?
I like it. I won't be mad if you brought it to my house. Be
Yeah.
like, oh, here's a 16-pack. Be like, okay, let's get to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, if you brought it and you left it at my house, I wouldn't feel bad. I wouldn't feel bad about drinking this. This doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't make me feel full. I will say, I do prefer it with the salt. Like, if I was to have it again, I would want to make sure I had the salt. So, that's where we're at. Hey, thanks for joining us again, guys, for another episode of Gear and Beer. Appreciate you being here. If you stuck around this long, check out Taco Truck Lager by Dust Bowl. And if you want, iRocker paddleboards. Take care.